Hello, everybody. We are the Geeks and Degenerates, and today we talk about Drive, directed by Nicholas Winding Refn and starring Ryan Gosling mainly. I am Menzo, and this is my forever co-host John. And yeah, how did you find out about this movie?
Uh, I do feel guilty for saying this, but I found out about it because of Blade Runner 2049. And I was like, oh, I love Ryan Gosling. What else was he in? He was in La La Land, which was really good. And then he was also in Drive. And I was like, oh, a movie about cars. I was like, okay, I like cars. Let's give that a shot. And yeah, I was like, the man, like, if you notice, as throughout the two movies, like Blade Runner and Drive, if you look closely at Ryan Gosling's character, he is literally me. Sorry,
Sure,
sorry. Thank
sure.
you, TikTok, for giving me that one.
Uh, but yeah, I found out this movie through Watch Mojo, and it was the scene where he's curb stomping an assassin to literally.
Like in an elevator.
Yeah, I was like, I need to
Yeah.
check this out. And like for the character of the driver, we said this before filming. There's not a lot of dialogue. He's very stoic. He lives by a set of rules. Like if you're not within these 5 minutes, you can do it whatever you want. But outside of this, you're on your own. And the rules are established right away in the opening movie. And
He's an illegal taxi driver.
sure, yeah, but he is efficient and effective. That's all you know.
Mm.
He's also a stunt driver who works for Shannon, who's played by Bryan Cranston. He's a movie guy. He also runs a car mechanic place or car repair place, and life seems to be going well for both of them. Even though you see that Shannon is in deep with some interesting
Really shady
characters.
mobsters.
Yeah,
Yeah. I do like the character of what's his name?
the main mobster, Bernie.
The main mobster, Bernie. Yeah,
Yeah,
I really do like that actor. I don't
you're
see him a lot.
Yeah, like the last time I saw this before Drive was my son. Have you seen my son Nemo? Yeah,
What?
yeah,
This is Marlon.
yeah.
Oh, I can never look at Marlon the same ever again.
Right? Me too. His other buddy is Nino, played by your favorite Ron Perlman.
My favorite Hellboy.
Yeah. But yeah, you see all these actors that you really like, and you're like, you know what? I feel like I'm in here for a good time, and
Mm.
like, you see that the driver. I love the fact that you never learn his name. He's just your
Mm.
driver.
Just the driver. It's so weird because like him with like his love interest. His love interest never says like. Well, okay, put quotation marks because she becomes a love interest at the end.
Yeah,
But like they kind of establish, hey, I'm married, but my husband's in prison.
yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry, you buy the chemistry between the driver and Irene and the kid, and you're like, I
Mm.
hope this lasts forever. But you've seen the opening, and you're like, yeah, probably not.
Yeah,
Um,
that's always the deal, right? Like
yeah,
man is in a life of crime, wants to be better, finds a way to be better, but his life catches up to him.
yeah, yeah. And like you see who the husband's played by. It's a young Oscar Isaac, and you're like, even from an early start, you're like, you are a talented man, and I like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. Again, there's not a lot of shit that happens here. Huh?
no, you learn that Shannon has dreams of entering the race circuit, and he asks Bernie for like 300K, and he's like, fine, I'll give it to you. Me and Nina will give it to you, but you better live up to your word that this is worth it. And you're like, is this a racing movie? No, it's not. And like, I think
Mm.
the movie got sued by someone in America because the trailer presents this as Fast and the Furious, which we did earlier. And then when you watch the movie, you're like, that's not Fast and the Furious. This is nowhere near that.
Okay, I need to rewatch the trailer because like, come on, like it's not nothing wrong with a trailer kind of misleading the audience and being like, hey, okay, I don't know, is it bad?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Endgame misled us. We're like, oh, Thor is, of course, he's lean and he's Thor. And when you watch Endgame, we're like, you know
He's
what?
fat.
You know what? That's valid. That's very valid, true, because of what you went through. But at
Yeah.
the same time, it's misleading. So
Yeah.
there's that.
And also, don't worry because I said fat. Me and Enzo are both fat.
Yeah, we're on the chubby side.
We're on the chubby side.
But yeah, one time the driver sees Standard just beaten up, and he tells him the situation was like these guys said, I just owed him 1K or like 5K, and then once I
It
got
was
out,
$1 million.
yeah, and he somewhat knows what the driver can do, and so he enlists him, and then he and this other shady guy make a deal, and that's the guy who's like, oh, your percentage is fuck off, and it's like, oh, okay, and then you see the woman accompanying them is Christina Hendricks. If you're like a massive Mad Men fan, that's one of the girlfriends of John Hamm. And you're like,
Yes.
oh, cool. I forgot where else she was in, but every time she pops up, I'm like, oh, I'm thoroughly impressed by you. Even though in this movie, all you do is be scared, which is fine.
Be scared and get shot in the face.
Yeah. So they do this heist with a pawn shop, and it's in the middle of the valley. So you're like, all right, that makes sense. This seems safe. And then Christina Hendricks comes out, and you're like, all right, everything's going smoothly. And then Oscar Isaac comes out, and you're like, the fucker just got shot in the jugular. How the fuck is he supposed to recover from this?
Right, and we just met him too. Like, I love those quiet moments with the driver and Oscar Isaac's character,
Yeah,
where like it was like the birthday party of the kid or something,
yeah.
and it's just like it was like that man likes your wife and your wife likes that man. Like the whole time I was just like, the man looks like he's unhinged. You
Yeah.
know? He shaved his head, just came from prison, probably jacked.
Yeah. Or he could be just the nicest person in a bad situation. You just never know. You can't find out because he's on the tarmac or on the road dead. You're like, oh, that's unfortunate.
And it was very, I don't know, there's no orchestra or soundtrack to like the scene too, so it was just like pop, pop, guy just falls down. It kind of felt too real.
Yeah. Before we go forward, I do love the main song, We Can Be Heroes. I have that on Spotify. I've always had that for a while.
Dude, this was like, I think this is why like majority of like the early 2010s, a lot of people were into like this whole indie scene.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't really fit the movie in my opinion, but it's such a good soundtrack.
Yeah, you just vibe with it. You're like, all right.
Yeah, like them driving through the canal, and then you just hear, like "We Are Heroes," and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, they're followed because apparently he learned from Christina Hendricks that they were gonna rip them off because it's the mob, and why not? And like Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling, the driver. Sorry,
the other one.
Yeah.
The other one
starts interrogating her like, oh, please don't hurt her. She's just, she screwed you over, but she's just a helpless pawn in this game. And he's like, you take me to whoever said to screw us over. She's like, all right. But before that, her head splits open because of a shotgun bullet. You're like, Jesus
It was so intense too, because you already start seeing people like coming, like passing the window.
Yeah.
And you just see this guy with like check. While she's washing her hands, I'm like, here we go.
Yeah. And then, as you said, the action just feels too real. Like he's not Dom Toretto from Fast and Furious.
Yeah, there's no act. Yeah, go on.
He's just a very simple man. He figured out that he can do certain things. He's like almost like Brian from Taken, but he's not Captain America or Dom Toretto in terms of like action sequences.
Yeah, like if somebody has a gun on him, he's almost useless.
Yeah.
It feels like that. You can't just rush a guy with a gun and then like tackle him and then stop on the floor and make the floor crack and then the guy would fall through. But yeah, like I do like that. I really do. It's very realistic.
Yeah.
I'll say, yeah.
Yeah, and then like he goes to the guy who she was supposed to take him to. It's like, call your boss, and the boss is Nino. You're like, oh shit, how's this supposed to play out? And then
Damn it.
he does tell Irene the situation, and she gets mad. But they do make up in the elevator where there's one guy who's shady looking. You're like, I feel like he's gonna kill both of them. But the driver recognizes the threat, so he just disarms him and starts stomping on his head again and again and again.
I love that scene though where he like pushes like Irene behind him and then kisses her. But the thing is, I'm starting to think that was all in his head, maybe.
Yeah, right. Because
like
the look on Irene's face is like,
out.
what the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like my husband just died.
Yeah, I don't want to be kissed. And
Yeah.
yeah, probably, you know what? That's a good point. Probably is on his head until he stomps, literally cracks the guy's skull with his boot. Or, Jesus Christ. Like,
Yeah.
the shotgun scene, that makes sense. Right? Yeah, it's a shotgun. What do you expect? But like him just curb stomping him, it's like, it's not even like a professional killer. It's like a desperate, stay the fuck down, please.
Yeah, like your teeth on the curb kind
Yeah.
of like violence. I like it.
Yeah,
It fits his character. Again, he's very calm until he's not.
yeah. And then poor Irene's like, what the fuck? You kill
Mhm.
people. All
Yes.
right. And then you learn from Shannon that he told Bernie, like, hey, the driver's not really involved in this. It was a mistake. But he tells him, Bernie, the situation. And the driver's like, you told him where I live? Told him about Irene? What the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, you have to get the fuck out of town. Right now.
Hmm.
And so do
Yeah.
I. He's like, okay. What about racing? Fuck that. No more racing. At all. We have to constantly be looking over each other's shoulders. And the poor guy,
That's the life they have to live.
the fuck off guy, gets murdered by Bernie because he's like, oh, hey man, this is your mess. I'm gonna clean this for you. Starting with him because he's involved. Because the money that got stolen was part of the Philly mob. It's a bigger threat. He's like, if I don't fix this, we're both gonna be hanging by our nuts and like meat hooks. So I'm gonna fix this. He's like, okay. But he makes the mistake of killing poor Shannon, and I have to keep saying it. Like his Shannon's death is too real, where he just slices his
Like
arm
sizes
off.
the yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy just bleeds. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
And Bernie's like, it's fine, man. There's no pain. And you're like, are you sure? There's no pain for Bernie's faces otherwise.
I was like, I mean, he's a it takes 4 minutes, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then the driver tracks down Nino, and you expect something so gritty, or like an action movie with cars to be like over the top when he's chasing down Nino. Like they both bump each other until one of them just crashes, but no, he just ambushes Nino and then drives his car off a cliff and drowns him. And you're like, this movie's too real. It's almost uncomfortable at times.
Yeah, like at this point, I'm starting to think Ryan Gosling's character is a little psychopathic.
Yeah, right. The way like Ron Perlman's just like trying to escape to the sea, and the driver's like, "Oh, you want to swim? I'll make you swim with the fucking fishes, bitch." It's like, oh. Yeah,
I do like it though.
yeah.
I really do. I really like Driver.
Same here. And then he
I
calls,
drive.
yeah, character's name. I get
Yes.
confused by that too. Or the video game Driver, where it's like this weird game that the tutorial, you don't know that. All right, I'll explain it off camera. But yeah, Bernie.
Okay.
He calls Bernie, and Bernie's like, all right, let's make a deal. And tells the driver, like, look, if you give me the money, Irene's safe. But you're not. Let's be real about this, because you are the one who stole it. So you will always have to keep looking over your shoulder for the rest of your life. Any plans you have, you better put them on hold, because they could be your last. He's like, all right, I'll take you the money. And then Bernie just stabs him in the back, and then the driver turns around and stabs him. He's like, call an ambulance, but not for me, actually for me, too.
Yeah, can you get that one as well? Can I take that to go? No, but like, I feel like we glossed over the hammer scene, didn't we?
I mean, nothing happens. He's like,
Yeah, I know, but it was one of the most coolest scenes. Sure, he doesn't kill anybody there. He has like the bullet and he had the hammer. He was about to use it, but he
Yeah.
didn't.
yeah,
There was
the bullet
boobs
that,
everywhere. And I'm like, this scene is so fucking cool. And you see him like has his back turned, the camera's panning to him. You see the scorpion on his back. I was like, ooh.
yeah, it's a cool interrogation scene. And like, even though the fuck off guy is a piece of shit, you're like, I kind of feel bad for you, kind of, but not really. But yeah,
Nah.
you think the driver's dead, and you're like, you linger on his face for a long time. You're like, is he dead? And he wakes up and just drives. I guess he drives himself to the hospital, like to go to somewhere to get stitched at least.
No, he dies on, like, the stairs of that one building after he meets the actual main character of the story and brings. Sorry. Oh, my bad, that's Blade Runner 2049.
And then Irene knocks on the door, and you don't know whether they ever get in contact again, or whether he's just being haunted by the Philly mob for the rest of his life. Or maybe Bernie forgot to tell the mob, like, alright, he gave the money, I'm gonna kill him though, and he's not gonna do anything suspicious to me, right? Oh well. But yeah, this is a pretty good movie. Like watching this for this review, I was like, damn, this is pretty fun. Not just fun, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
And Nicholas Winding Refn has made other movies like Only God Forgives, I think, and The Neon Demon with Ellie Fanning. But they're alright. Or like
I haven't seen them yet.
they're good to like alright, but like nothing has beaten Drive in my opinion.
Okay.
With that being said, what would you rate Drive?
I'll say Drive is a vibe. You know, like the entire time you're just like chill. When he gets violent, but when it's like those moments of just pure bliss or quiet where he's just driving, a good soundtrack's playing, I really like that. I can never be a stoic. Just letting y'all know, so he is not literally me. As much as I would like to be. Yeah, I'm more of like Ryan Gosling and Barbie kind of thing.
I can't wait for that.
Same here.
That and Oppenheimer. Of
Yeah.
course.
We're watching those back to back.
Did you see
No,
go on. No, finish your sentence.
no. You. What did I see?
No, did you see the picture of Tom Cruise with the respective directors of Mission Impossible and Barbie? They all have a pose along like other movies playing. Like Margot Robbie has a picture with Oppenheimer's poster, and she has like her day one ticket.
Oh, that's so cute.
And you're like, come on, Cillian Murphy and Christopher Nolan, your turn.
Yeah, come on, watch the fucking Barbie movie. But yeah. What was it? Sorry, my bad, my score. Yeah. It is a vibe. Everybody played their part well. I like it that it's a slow burn. It is not a Fast and Furious movie where it's all high octane action, robbery, gunfights. No. It's quiet moments, and I like it that those quiet moments kind of enhances the intense moments. Because once it starts to get intense, it's really intense. Dude, by the window with a shotgun. If that was Fast and Furious, you'd be like, no, Dom will just punch him in the face, he'll be fine.
Right?
Nah, you just see a poor girl who's just a pawn in this game just get splattered and pretty much put on a wall. And I'm like, yep, it's that kind of movie.
Right?
Yeah, I do like it. I really like it. It does, how do I say, complement the scenes when it's quiet and then becomes really intense. It complements the scene very well. But yeah, it's an 8 out of 10 for me. Oh, no, I can't do that. 9. It's a 9 out of 10. It's such a goddamn good movie. And I really suggest everyone should watch it, especially if you're a car guy.
Yeah.
Like, you'll like it. It's not a lot on cars, but it's enough. It's enough.
Yeah. Shoot. I'll give this a 9 also. I really like this movie from the moment I watched it first to now when I do this for the review. I'm just like, this is such a brilliant movie. As you mentioned, it's straightforward. There's not much going on. There's not a convoluted plot like, say, the recent Fast and Furious. And it doesn't need to be. It's just a simple story, a simple beginning and end. And by the end, you're like, I'm satisfied. And that's one of the best things movies can do, where you just leave the theater or like you stop watching the movie on Netflix and you're like, God damn, that's a good time.
Yeah.
I have a question for the audience. What's your favorite Ryan Gosling movie? Whether it be this or, his rom-coms. I forgot the name of the one with Emma Stone.
Stupid Crazy Love.
Yeah. Whether you like him in those or other movies, like, I can't think of other movies right now, but like Barbie, if it comes up. If you've seen it and you like it, comment down below. But yeah, that's been our video on Drive. Please like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. And the videos you can find me at Gandalfus1995 on Twitter. How about you?
You can find me at JomsGio__ on Instagram, and this is my account.
And we have one last driving move for you guys. So yeah, see you then. Bye.
Bye.